Scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back with another challenge layout for you today. We are going to be using that sketch that I just showed you, and it only calls for one photo, but it does call for a pretty big, probably a 4x6 photo. And I had these two photos of my son Brennan sitting on the potty, and this was back when he was probably a year and a half old. And he was definitely not really actually going pee, and so I just thought it was funny that he was just so proud of himself for sitting on the toilet, and so that's why these photos, I just thought they were kind of cute. And so yeah, here I am trying to figure out what paper I want to use as my background. I really love this triangle paper. This one is from the Pink Fresh collection called Happy Things. Then there was also this wood grain one that was a bunch of different hexagons, and that one was from the Wonder collection, which was part of the add-on paper pack that I got. And then also there was this chevron one, and I loved this chevron one and how the chevron, the arrows kind of pointed you in towards the picture. And so I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the photo, or the photos, whatever, and then cut out the photos, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to do right now, because I wanted to be able to have the choice to use this background on another thing. I didn't want these photos to be on this background, but I did want them to be matted on the background. So here I'm just cutting out this bit with the photos on it. And here I realized that I kind of put them down a little bit crooked. I also decide, well, the background is kind of busy, so it needs something to break it up between the photos and that chevron pattern. So I just pull out some old white paper and mount it on that. And then I'm going to glue it down to the background and cut it off a little bit because it wasn't straight on that left side. And I'm really liking the way that this looks. So I am going to end up using this wood grain paper. I think I kind of thought, well, maybe I could use this other paper from the Happy Things collection, but then I was like, nope, I'm not gonna. And so here is where I start to make my layers. And this sketch kind of threw me for a loop. I don't know why, but I had the hardest time trying to figure out which papers I was going to use and how to layer them together and everything. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, I can't even put words together to explain how hard this process was. I don't think this layout took very long. I don't actually remember how long, and I didn't write it down. So, I mean, it probably only took an hour. But I don't know, I just kept trying things and it wasn't working, and I did know that I wanted to put that vellum paper in the background, and so that is definitely going to stay in the background. Then I cut out this chevron paper and I really liked that, but it didn't really stand out enough against that other blue paper from the Happy Things collection. So here I had this kind of red and white, and so I decided to use that. Even though there is a lot of white on the other papers that have patterns on them, I still really liked the way that the off-white and the white looked together. It didn't look like odd or anything to me. So here I'm just gluing down the different pattern papers, and I decide that I'm just going to cut this vellum sheet in to a smaller piece because I didn't need to use that whole strip because it wasn't going to be seen. So there I cut off the branding strip, and then here I'm just going to glue everything down to the background. And then once I'm done with that, I will start doing my embellishing. So we are done with all of the layers. And here I did have this cut apart or not a cut apart, but a cut file that I had cut out. And I think that was from the maybe that was from the September kit, but it said My Life, and I liked that. And so I'm going to use that as my title. And then there were these two little houses from the Wonder collection. They're the puffy stickers. So I'm just going to use quite a few of these puffy stickers and place them around on the layout. Here I'm just going to use my Tombow Aqua Glue to glue down the title Kyle. And I also use a puffy sticker from the, what collection is that? Now I can't even think. I think it's the Happy Things collection. Then there were a couple other little pieces that I wanted to glue down. There's a tab that was a printable, one of the free printables that came with the kit that I had cut out previously. And then to do the journaling, I wanted to use these two printable tags that I printed before I had even gotten my kit. And so I'm journaling, and I'm going to use both of these strips, and it's going to say, even though there were no results from his time on the potty, you can tell Brennan was so proud of himself. And I stayed pretty true to the sketch on this one. I don't always do that. Usually when I use a sketch, I kind of take it as a jumping off point, and then I just kind of make it my own. This one I stayed really, really close to. So here I decided that the pattern papers needed to stand out a little bit more from the background. So I'm just using a journaling pen or journaling marker to add some lines. And that is, I think that's the last thing that I do. I'm going to stamp the date right next to the title. And the date is May 8th. And this is back in 2008. So yeah, that is my layout. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And I will be back on Wednesday with another layout. This one is actually my second layout. And on Wednesday, I will post my first layout. So I'm doing things kind of out of order this time around. But yeah, we'll get there.